everyone. So this is the first full week of Lent. Just like we have a season called Advent to prepare our hearts for Christmas, we have this season of Lent to prepare our hearts for Easter. During Lent, lots of people, even people who don't think of themselves as particularly religious, sometimes give something up for a period of time and focus on trying to become a better person. For Christians, Lent is a season for renewing or even establishing a connection with God. I know that for a lot of people, prayer can be kind of a iffy, scary thing because they feel like maybe they should be praying, but no one has helped them to try and figure out what different ways of praying work for them. So then it ends up being this constant guilt trip. During Lent, instead of something to think about, how about we do something to try? Are you in? Okay, so here's something to try. Praying in color. Sybil Macbeth wrote a couple books about it, and you can look at that if it's something that you want to explore more. Anybody can pray in color. You don't have to be good at drawing or painting or coloring. You don't even have to do it in color. Just grab some markers or colored pencils or a pen or, even just that number 2 pencil and a piece of paper. So let's take a piece of paper. I've got a Sharpie here. You could use black, you could use a crayon, whatever you have handy. You can just think about whatever is coming to your mind and just notice as you're making shapes or whatever marks you want. You don't have to make anything in particular. Just notice what you're thinking about and ask yourself, how is that connected to God? As you're doing it, maybe you're thinking about lunch. And so then you write it down, maybe inside one of the shapes. I'll write it lunch. And as you're thinking about that, just let your hand doodle around as you follow that thought. Maybe something else comes to mind then, like your best friend. So maybe you find another shape and write BFF. Or whatever helps you to think about your best friend. And again, you just doodle around and follow that thought. How is that connected with God? Maybe you're just really grateful for your BFF. Or maybe she's got COVID and you want to ask God to help her get better. Maybe he's got an important competition coming up and you just want to ask God to let him sense God's spirit. That's the basics of it. Praying in color can take just a minute or as long as you want. When it feels done, just take a deep breath and imagine sending it to God. Maybe you can think of it as snapping a picture and tagging God on it on Instagram. Well, there you go, something to try. Come back next week and we'll try praying in motion.